Yes, we're live and in effect. It hurts so good with Doc Hurts and Mr. Izzy around the world, and I. They can't find it, but we done found it. So, Mr. Izzy, we 8-0.
Hey,
Fly Eagle
hey,
5. Talk to us.
well, how's everybody doing? We are back, coming back live from. I'm back in New Orleans. Just left Thursday night football in Houston, Texas, to watch the Eagles versus the Texans, and what a night it was! So all the Eagle Nations out there, I was glad to see you. We got many pictures on Izzy Hurts and D Hurts of the game. So you guys go out there, like, comment, subscribe. We had a good time in Houston, and we just can't wait to keep building more fandom, more momentum. As right now we're another win and the only undefeated team in the NFL. And if you pay attention, Jalen Hurts, he's doing lots of interviews with Kelsey. So you guys go check that out, the Kelsey brothers and Jalen. And there's a bunch of commercials. There's a clothing line, JalenHurts.com. So just go out there, support. Go on the Twitter. Go talk to his mother. She'll talk to you. So you guys talk to Pamela Hurts, talk to Izzy Hurts, talk to D Hurts. The Hurts Nation is here, and we want to let you know we are out here, and come on down.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question concerning that. I think it was the Kelsey interview that they had. I know you watched it, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, could you give me any input? What do you think about the question that Jalen answered about uh thinking he was going to Philly? I mean Pittsburgh.
I think that he was not getting a lot of response from the Eagles organization, which he stated. I was predicting that was the team he would go to. I thought it would be either Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger retiring, or even the Raiders. And he actually he said it himself. So I think that he had a great NFL combine. So I even thought he could even go to the Cowboys with Jerry Jones. So I would be lying to say I thought he'd be on the Eagles. I thought it was going to be either Steelers, Raiders, or even the Cowboys after Dak Prescott got his leg hurt. So I that's my take on it. I think he was just giving an honest answer of what the draft process was like. So many things was going on during COVID. That was a very unique season, and the world was just totally different. You were getting interviews, people were just learning to talk over the phone. There wasn't even a live draft, so it just lets you know how the world is changing from today in 2022 to what the world was in 2020. It was just a unique time for the entire world. So that's my take on Jalen Hurts saying that he may get drafted by the teams that he spoke to. So what's your take on it?
Okay, I feel like it was by him mentioning that he didn't think he was going, and he kind of like, well, he thought he was going to be going to Pittsburgh. It was kind of a shock for him to say it, and then after all this time to look at them to do an interview to ask him that question, uh, that it was just kind of shocking to me. But another question that I've heard other people not necessarily ask him, but they ask each other, and everybody say pretty much everybody that I've seen have said that they were shocked by his progression, like they were shocked by what he's accomplished and what he was doing when they put him in the game. And I could give you my take, and then I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. But my take is I'm not shocked at all. I predicted this when he was in college. I think the first year he played, I said he's going to go. He's going to win the Super Bowl. He's going to do all these great things. And you begin to see it over and over. He has such a winning record. If you would compare him from the time they left college until now, even against Burrow and all of the rest of them, and a guy from Clemson, I think he probably now has about the most winningest record for a football player between all of those guys. He probably has more win than loss ratio right now. And he had that when he was in college. So I'm not surprised one bit. I haven't been surprised. I feel he's going to do this. I feel he's going to get better and better, barring something very, very unexpected. And I expect him to go a long way because I think he brings a lot to the table: dedication, commitment, leadership, and teamwork. Anything you like to, what do you think about that?
I was pretty. I have to go back to 2020. I've talked to my dad many times about this in regards to Jalen, and I only had one hope. I had one hope that he would just get drafted. When it came to his play, I wasn't shocked at all. I was actually disappointed that as good as a combine that he had, I was even disappointed that he was even drafted when he got drafted. I was very disappointed due to the fact there were quarterbacks who had serious injuries, and no team was willing to give him a first round chance. And if you look at currently the players who've been drafted ahead of him, it's clear to say I was right about my assumption that every NFL team had an opportunity to take him, and all but maybe two teams, if you were set on the quarterback you had. I think maybe other than that, at the minimum, you should have gave him a chance. So I think that's the highs and the lows, and I just love the fact how I'm going to skip a little forward. When it came to his talent, I didn't have any doubt. Every opportunity he's had, not only has he been a winner, whenever he's had talent that's on his talent level, everyone has been surprised, but he's always done that from high school to college and then to the pros. And a lot of his teammates, they were just so stunned. But every time he gets opportunity, I don't see why they're stunned. It's just you got to give him the opportunity. And every time he's got an opportunity, he's showing you that he works hard. He spent the first 2 off seasons very working hard on his skills. He doesn't take summers off to just fiddle off into stardom of I'm a professional. He takes his professionalism with him. The first year he went to Florida and he practiced. He went with Deshaun Jackson and different players. And no disrespect, but while Carson Wentz had his money, we don't know what Carson Wentz was doing, but he obviously wasn't playing with his receivers. He wasn't throwing. He wasn't practicing. And what happened? Before the end of the season, he wasn't a quarterback. The following season, after he got him back from 2-5, got him in the playoffs, all of the reporters are saying, oh, we got doubt about Jalen. We got this doubt. But they didn't want to give him credit that he went up against a Super Bowl winning superior team. The following year, he worked with Tom House. He worked with Tom Brady. And not even a year later, he's in the MVP discussion. So my thing is, stop doubting the Hurts. Give credit where credit's due. He's a hard worker. He's been working hard, and he's not slacking on his craft. And this is nothing new for the Hurts family. We've been backing him up. You could look at us. You could look at his mother. We've been backing him up, and we're just trying to get all the haters for whatever reason. We're going to get rid of them. We don't care who they are. If it's the fans on his team, if it's the sports announcers, they've all had to go back full circle about their commentary about Jalen Hurts. So as of today, that's what I'm most proud of. It doesn't matter who it is. You name one person, and they've all had to retract their statements and apologize. And I said it, but I didn't mean it. So it's just a testament of how hard Jalen Hurts works, and I'm just proud of him for that. And keep going. So that's my take.
Okay. Well, let's say like this. We know what we've been saying from game 1 of this season. And I think we know how they try to change the narrative, and it's like they keep beating a dead horse. So I feel like the way to stop it is I'm going to stop beating a dead horse. I'm not going to continue to try to like a lot of times just listen to what he says, right? Uh, worry about the next game. Change the things you can change. Let's not feed into the rat poison because every victory we're going to be sitting up trying to defend what the indefensible, right? So we 8-0. That's the pace. So let's look at what's coming up with this Commander game that's going to be on Monday Night Football. What is the picture looking at for like as a team? Could you tell us about the Commanders?
The Commanders are a team that is in a. This is probably the worst influx in the NFL right now you could be in. Um, there's an issue about the name, the Commanders. There's an issue with Daniel Snyder. He's being sued, the NFL. They're pretty much putting pressure to try to get rid of Daniel Snyder. Other owners are talking out. This is a situation that is going to be addressed. We don't even know if he's going to be the owner. We don't know who's going to be the coach. You don't know who's going to be, you don't even know who's going to be the quarterback. So this whole organization, they have so many problems. And this is just off the field. This has nothing to do with the game. You have no idea what's going on in Washington, and it would be unfair to me to predict what's going to go on in Washington because I don't have a clear and concise answer because anything could change at any day. So what I will say is, for the Eagles, you got a few days off. Be prepared for Monday. Don't take this team lightly. You're at home. Get you another victory because you got a lot of bigger fish, but you still got to take care of business. And that's my whole thought on this up and coming Monday Night Football game. It's Washington's in the biggest influx I've ever seen. So that's my only commentary on that and the game. So what's your take on this up and coming game against the Washington Commanders?
Well, I want to look at we're 8-0, and Monday we're going to play the Washington Commanders. I believe they have the second string quarterback in. The team is from the ownership to they're tied up in the federal investigations. They are in a lot of stuff going on with them eternally, and I don't see how they can really probably play stable football when probably the players don't know where they're going to be next year. The coaches don't know where they're going to be next year. The owner don't know where he's going to be. So it's kind of hard to focus. So I feel because they got so many distractions, I can't see them putting their heads together to win a game. And then further that, I like to just take a look at the Indianapolis Colts. They're going through the same thing. They're going through a coaching change. They're going through a lot of little disarray right now of pretty much the same thing. And let's look at the next game. You're going to have the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they might be almost.
No, we already played Pittsburgh. We beat them already.
Aren't they playing again? Who's the third team that they play? Who
they'll play the Giants.
You sure?
They'll play. I'm sure. Yeah. Remember, they already beat Pittsburgh at home. They did. They beat them.
Okay. Well, who are they? They're playing the Giants.
That's gonna be the third game.
That third game after this one.
After the Colts, you got the Commanders, Colts, Giants.
And the next one is who?
Commanders, Colts, Giants, and Dallas.
Okay. And Dallas and who else?
I have no idea after that. I don't have it with me right here, but
they're not playing Pittsburgh again.
Okay. No, they're not even. No.
I thought they were gonna play them the third team. I'm gonna look at the schedule real quick because I want to see. Because I was looking at 3 of these games, they should be able to win. Okay. You got 9 games left, right?
Yep.
Okay. No, we got 9 games left. Schedule 2020. Okay, hold on. They got Philadelphia. Okay, they're at Indianapolis, right? Okay, they're playing the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Okay, the Green Bay Packers is the 3rd game. Am I right?
Okay.
Okay, you got
That's right.
Washington Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles, that's the Indianapolis Colts. And they're playing Green Bay at home. They're playing Indianapolis at home. They're playing Washington at home. So these next 3 games, and also what's going on with the Green Bay Packers, I don't think they're 500, are they?
No, they're below.
Point. They're not 500, but I'm believing and hoping that they beat Dallas this weekend. If they beat Dallas this weekend, that'll be good. But I'm thinking that those 3 games, and also there'll be the home games for Philadelphia, that will be a good run with all that's going on with those teams. That they will have a great opportunity to be 11-0. And you kind of see the pattern what I'm saying now. You're playing at home. You're playing teams that's got 2 of the teams they're just not functioning with the front office in the back, and the Green Bay aren't really functioning on all cylinders now. So that they should just take over and win. I feel, but any game you can lose if you slack. We saw that live and in person in Texas.
Yeah, they were down. They were down early, and the running game did very good for Houston because the running game could not be stopped in that first half. And also, what I want to add on is people didn't pay attention to it, but I was very concerned as I watched the first half. The quarterback, Austin Davis, had 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. So, like you're saying, don't take any team lightly. Just because somebody's a backup, it doesn't mean that they can't have a good game. Now, the second half is when he really totally throw the interceptions, the sacks start getting there. But the first half, they ran well, and he threw the ball well. So you got to play a complete game. The Eagles are known to be a slow starter, and they're known to go on these long runs. So you got to get a balance. That's something else that needs to happen. You got to get a balance.
Yeah, so I feel they're going to do good, and that's what I'm looking forward to. We're going to ignore all of the haters, yet they're going to come in no matter what happens. I think we the last 3 games we've looked to see what they were going to say when we won. I know I did. I looked to see, and one guy especially get on his head, and that's Cilio. I get on his head, boy, he's something else. And he'll twist it up, but he's always got an excuse. Oh, they didn't play nobody. Oh, what this happened? Oh, what that happened?
Well, in regards to Cilio, he has his own history that you guys could look up about 13 years ago. So he tries to have a lot of sarcasm. So let's just speak facts here. Everyone knows what it's about. This is how he gets ratings. He's pretty much the left wing, the different. He comes with a narrative that's always to get his ratings up. So I know it's working for him. And if you look at his ratings, everyone, I can guarantee you, Dan Cilio's getting all these ratings and all these comments. Doing what? The low-hanging fruit. Going against the MVP candidate and the only undefeated team. So Cilio, just keep doing what you're doing, but you're not fooling anyone. We know what you're doing. And every time he gets called out about it, he backtracks. So just keep doing what you're doing.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to just add this little caveat in this because I think for far too long, the big boy media at ESPN and the other sports network, I'll say for the last few years, they've been throwing their weight around, and sometimes they've been pushing their weight with the owners of the teams, and I think it's time, since they like calling people out, I think it's time that they get called out. And let me say about this. The ratings of ESPN and all those announcers are going down. They're going down. So as the ratings are going down because smaller bloggers and vloggers like me and you are coming in their territory. We're beginning to talk. We're beginning to be part of that media. And so the more time that people will spend watching people like me, you, Cilio, Philly 500, Lord Brunson, and all the rest of the crew, they're not watching the big boys up at Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith, because now that viewership is beginning to be divided. Well, since they always want to talk about who should be getting paid what while they play and what the contract should be, let's talk about what their contract should be. Since they're losing money and then they started back and bashing Kyrie Irving, and then all of a sudden it gets a turn when it falls, they want to go back. Why don't they? Because I know they're thinking about getting rid of some of those guys, right? But it's time that somebody let them know that. Stephen A. Smith, the other guy, Skip Bayless, and Shannon Sharp, why are they being allowed to start their own blogs and their own side shows when they work for ESPN? Since ESPN is paying you millions of dollars, why don't they say, look, if I'm going to negotiate with you, you're not going to be able to go and start your own podcast while you're working for me. Since you want to talk about who can make this amount of money and who should be getting that, let's start negotiating on their contracts. Stephen A. Smith and them getting their own contracts and then going to open their own show, because they already know the writing is on the wall that if they get canceled, they'll still have an audience. So why don't they write in their contracts, yeah, we're going to still pay you $11 million, $7 million, but guess what? You won't be able to do your own personal private podcast. See, but they want to talk about what LeBron should be making and what Kyrie should be making and who should be this and who should be that. And well, talk about what Jalen them should be making. So let's talk about, if you're on one of these name brand stations that's paying y'all that money, they need to start writing on their contracts. Don't let them go and start their own podcast, because what you're doing is you're creating your own competition, and no job lets you work and go work for the competition. Now, what do you think about that?
I think that would be a great concept. Great concept to apply. There's a lot of select decisions that people want. People want to be select in the decisions that they make. They want to run the players' lives, but they don't run the owners' lives. And so since they want, I just want it to be equally reciprocated. Since you have so much opinions and opinionated on other people's decisions and finance and money and likeness and social media images and copy and pasting, it needs to be equal across everyone. So if people are offended by what's posted on social media, people need to have the same issues and anger towards the Florida State Seminoles, the Kansas City Chiefs, all of it, because everybody's got a group of people who don't like certain things. So my opinion is the biasry and the bigotry, it's got to stop. But if you keep it going, I guarantee it, that empire, it's already going down. So if that's what they want to make sports about, is the gossip and the sidebar stuff, then keep it going. Your days will be numbered, and you're seeing it now. The money that you were making, you're not making it anymore. And like you're saying, everyone's building up their own podcast and all of these different things, but they don't want any claws on them. But they'll speak on what Jalen should make. They'll speak on what LeBron should make and what he should get involved in and shouldn't speak on. And I just want to thank a guy, Marshawn Lynch. He was doing a great job of being ahead of his time. I hope Jalen Hurts decides to stop it. Stop doing interviews. Stop talking. Because guess what? No matter what you do or say in life, you can't please everyone. You're not going to like everyone. And people will decide to pigeonhole you. They may even try to cancel you. So my thing is, you've done enough interviews in life. Anything outside of playing sports, no comment. I'm only here to play sports. That's the climate that the world wants it now, in my opinion. The climate wants you to offend no one, and they want you to offend no one, but they want to speak on everything, and then they want to silence you and critic you and cancel you. That's my opinion. So what do you say about it?
Well, I think the whole sports media be coming in the locker room, interviewing players, getting them to talk. It's because of the sports books. It's because of the owners realize that that's a benefit to them, because they can always get in there and create stories that they want in. They can get in there and have people sitting up negotiating through the interviewers who should get paid what. Have the sports people benefit them. And let me show you what I mean. If you own a business, right, your employees, even if you're facing unions, you want your employees to do everything that's going to benefit your business. When it doesn't benefit your business, you get rid of it. So what they're saying now is that the players are beginning to make so much money that they're controlling the narrative. See, first it was the owners using the sports people to control it. Now the players have a following of their own. They can go set up their own podcast. You see, so it worked for them, but eventually now it's going to work against them. Kyrie could come on, have his own little platform. Kevin Durant comes on, have his own little platform. LeBron have his own little platform. Ask yourself this: who do you think then the people will listen to? You think they're going to be turning on watching Stephen A. Smith talk, or they rather say, hey, man, Kyrie's talking about whatever is going on. AD is talking about whatever is going on. You rather listen to the source. So that media that they allowed in that benefited them is now turned around, because they start playing Skip Bayless so many millions, Shannon Sharp so many millions, Stephen A. Smith so many millions, that those guys now are sitting in and they feel like they're untouchable. But they know if the end coming, they're going to open up their own podcast because they still want to be relevant and they don't want to die off. You remember the guy who played for Tampa Bay, the football player, what's his name? The big guy that got caught in New Orleans?
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp. When Warren Sapp had that thing and they fired him off of that station, remember one of the first things I told you years ago before this got like it was? I said what he needs to do is he needs to go, because he had a problem with money. I said he needs to start his own broadcast, his own station, because the reason that they hired him because he was good at talking, especially about sports and football. I said, even though that happened to him, people would still listen to him. Well, I don't know if he did or not. I think he's coming around to being relevant, and I don't know if he had other issues in his life. But that is the course for people who can't make it. They can start their own podcast, and really, it becomes a financial. It becomes a job that people can get paid at, just like us now. We watch this, we talk on this. Eventually, the more eyes come in, the more people sub. This could be a financial base for us. Right now, it isn't. We do it. We don't make anything, but we want to get our voice, our opinion out, so that people who think like us can say, hey, you know what? I saw the same thing, and I think like those guys. You know, we'll be that voice for Jalen Hurts when everybody is saying, oh, I don't know how this guy happened. He just popped up. And I'm saying, did you check his record from the beginning? Because if you did, you see he's always been a winner. And people who always been winners tend to always win.
Definitely. So I definitely agree. Jalen Hurts' record and reputation is speaking for itself. And when it comes to the media and these different media and these anonymous sources and all this speculation, it's I think it's been doing that for a lot of years, and the average fan and average consumer, they're tired of it. It kind of reminds me of those newspapers that you see, some of these grocery stores. Certain times, people thought it was true, and then when you start getting so much rumors and gossip, whenever you don't live your life in that world, most people who don't live in that world, when you see something in a magazine that you know is not true, you're not going to buy that. You're going to look at something and say, "Oh man, he's just talking to talk. He's just talking to argue. He's just talking to keep the ratings going on." So that's what I see going on. There's a lot of people talking just to talk. They're talking just to monetize. And the average fan who's got some intelligence, don't fall for the trap. Same thing I would tell the athletes, I would say the same thing to them. Don't fall for the traps. You work too hard to make a comment, and next thing you know, your whole world is in shambles behind anything. At this day and age, it could be about a wide range from Dwayne Wade to a movie, just anything. So that's my advice for the athletes. Just stay away from it. Don't comment. Stay out of it.
Yeah, there's some things I want to get on, and I like Deion Sanders a whole lot, but I really want to say something on him because Deion was making a statement when he went out to I think he went to Houston to play ball. He told the guys, when you come in here, you got to change your address. Going to make a change. Don't care where you come from. It's different now. Y'all going to stay in the motel because what's going out in the streets, with the killing that went on with the guy called, what's his name? Takeoff, right?
Takeoff.
Before that, there was a guy with Drake the Jew that got killed in Houston. So these big name guys get killed out there with all these big name rappers. So this is what I want to say. Deion Sanders, for a fact, you're telling these guys, you're coming out here, y'all going to stay in the motel. You can't go out. You're going to, we're going to do this because we're looking out for your safety. We don't want you to get hurt here. That's good and fine. But let's not make a mistake and don't be hypocritical, because there's not a day on a practice field or on a real field that people cannot get killed playing football, whether it's a broken neck or whether it's something severe. They can lose their life. They can lose their mobility. So don't expect people to play one of the most dangerous games in the world where every day, even in practice, they could actually lose their life. Then now all of a sudden, you're going to come up and make it like you're just so concerned about their health and their well-being. It is a gamble, like a roulette wheel, that anytime they can go out there and that'll be the last time that they'll touch a field. So you need to be honest. Just because they go to Houston and you put them up in a motel room, but you'll put them on a football field where they could just as easily die or get killed, because it happens. It happens in high school. It happens in college. And even these guys are walking around. Some of them, they're going to make the team, even like Jalen Hurts. A few years from now, you got the guy from Miami sitting up, gets hit. He's in a paralytic state when he's knocked out, and they have to take him off the field after getting pushed down and can't stand up. So now you got guys with CTE playing in your sport, your field, who are losing their minds and committing suicide, and it's already been a proven fact. So don't get so high and mighty and not be truthful. You're a minister, you're a man of God, just like me, but you got to be real. When you put those guys on the field, them same young boys could lose their lives. Don't make it like everything you're doing is for the concern of their health and their well-being. In that game, it's not that. Just like in life, it's not like that. We could walk out the doors or stay in our house and we all could lose our lives. But don't act like you're just so much, we're going to keep them in because you don't want them in the streets, how bad it is, but yet you'll throw them on a football field, act like, oh, we know everybody's going to come back all right. Some of those guys are going to suffer injuries that they could be a pro football athlete, a number one star, and guess what? Their career be over with in a second. So I want to get that off my chest so that we realize, we for Hurts business, but guess what? We coming with the real deal business. and we can say the truth for what it is, and we ain't got to bag down.
Well, that's talking strong. That's saying a lot, and we're telling it like it is. And I got to bag you up on it. We got to be coming strong. The same way you had such a strong statement after a young man loses his life. It's the same. It may not be the same, but it's definitely a similar gamble. We're taking a risk. We need to pray. We need to be careful as much as we can. But let's not assure anything to anybody. There's nothing 100% proof. And let's just keep it that way. Let's not jump on one certain group and then ignore the other. So I think that's the best thing for us to do, and I think that's the best sentiment in this story that I could tell you. So I bag you up on it, and that's how I feel about it.
All right, so hey, we're gonna play football. We realize what it is. We go out in this world, we realize what it is, and we're gonna be real about it. Anything bad can happen. This is just one segment of our lives. Me, you, we're professionals in other things besides this blog, but we real about what we talk about. So get it right, Dion.
Definitely. Well, watch your in life. Watch your mouth and watch your words, because you're trying to.
Yes, sir.
Watch your mouth and watch your words, because it's not all good. It's not all bad, but it definitely ain't all good. I will say that. So Dion, I really like him. Really love what he says. But yeah, sometimes we gotta be mindful. We gotta be mindful of that. And the same thing with the media and the bloggers. We've already put them on notice as well. So Dion, you just don't take it personal. But yeah, we're on you about that. So.
Well, he can take it personal. He's a big guy, shining and blinging and swinging. He's Neon Dion. He know what it's about. He's been talking for years. But sometimes you gotta nah. He's all right.
But no, if you come over with me with it ain't gonna be he needs to just keep all the flash and dash. We're talking about life and death. All that flash and dash talk.
All right.
Come on. Let's leave that alone.
So them same guys can die on a football field, what I'm saying. And one thing I told you before, these football coaches get millions of dollars. They always have. They've got plenty of money when the guys that's playing was getting peanuts. That ain't changed. That hasn't changed. Hello?
You going in a whole nother direction.
No. What I'm saying is this. Don't tell me by you putting those guys in a motel room. Dion, you played football before. You came from dangerous streets. But when you played football, they didn't lock you up in a room and tell you, well, we're doing this all for your good because it's so bad out there, and then put you on a football field where you can run out there and get your neck broke. Come on. Don't do that. If for your team, that's what you were doing with keeping in because of what was going on in Houston, that was something that didn't even have to be broadcast. Everything that you do don't have to be broadcast. But I don't have to sit and watch you broadcast something where it comes off like this is for the good of the team. Oh, this is the right thing, when you ain't dealing with reality. Deal with reality. Them same guys you got in the room, they're young too. And yes, they could. I wouldn't want you to send them in danger, but you do every day. So let's be real with it. Hello? Well, you ain't saying that. I know you like. I can't believe you talking about. Yeah.
Ain't nothing I could say about it. You said what you had to say. I had said I had to say. I'm off.
Yeah, all right.
Like I'm not done. Look, I ain't ducking no fades, man. Just don't. I'm not ducking no fades. Just don't come around my way. That's all I'm saying.
Man, hey, look, man. Dion, the big boy, he know. Look, man, the guy. All the while he played football.
But he don't know me. So you speaking for yourself. I ain't got nothing to do.
Hold on. Now, come on. You know good and well I've always spoken for myself. What you talking about? I ain't never need a cosign to say what I'm talking about. Listen, man.
Say you did get a cosign. I'm saying you speaking for you.
What you talking about?
Look,
you running around,
I'm saying
what?
I'm running around How am I running around?
No, I'm finna tell you right now. I'm gonna say this. I'm talking about what Deion says, man. He played football and he went through all the things he did in the football field. He became a minister. He talked about how he almost committed suicide. I watched him. I admire the things that he does. I watched when he went to Jackson State and started being a coach, right? I have no problem with that. But what I'm saying is this. The closest Deion probably came to losing his life when he just came through this surgery about his foot. Out of all the things that could have took his life, that's the thing that almost took it. You see what I'm saying? So with tragedies that happen in his life, let's be real. It's not always the streets that can take you out. I'm just saying, when you're saying you're going to put the guys in a motel room, that was a team decision. Don't broadcast that as if these guys are young. They may want to go out and experience certain things. But I'm not buying that it's for the safety of the team. You put them on the field every day. And you pray that they don't get hurt. But the reality is that they can. Because when they finish college, whether they graduate, be a pro football player or not, there's a chance when they hit them streets that they could die. How many do we see right now in the pros in college that we read, he got shot, he just got this, he got that? Come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. Don't do that. I'm just saying I ain't buying that, man. Somebody else might buy that. No, don't come across like that. Just be real. If you don't want them guys to play football or go out because you felt it was danger, fine. That's it. Do that. Keep that to yourself. But I'm not going to buy that, this self-righteous, you doing the right thing. When I know these guys get hurt and killed playing in practice. Nah. That's me talking. That's why I hurt so good.
Hey, well, Deion, if you're hearing, hey. you could add Dhurts.
That's about Deion if you're here. Let me tell you something. I'm not the one that pushed him. It was the other coach that pushed him on the field that said, "No, don't come hugging me." He had a problem with it. Not me. I didn't do that to him. Everybody ain't going to just hug Deion because of everything. Deion is a bright, shining light, baby. But everybody ain't going to hug some of the stuff you do, just like me. Everybody ain't going to accept what I'm telling you. But some folk going to say, you know what, Doc, you're right.
Okay. It is what it is for me. I feel you, but hey.
Yeah, you ain't rocking with me, but that's all right. Hey, man.
I ain't against you. Hey, you saying what you saying? Hey, stand on it, you know? Hey. So I got other people on my agenda, and they know who they are. So
no, I ain't got Deion on my agenda, but I'm just speaking on something that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, we bringing truth to power.
So get ready. Monday. Well, so what's gonna be the score? What's gonna be the score on this game? What do you have, Dhurts?
Oh my goodness! I would say 35-14, and I'm hoping they get 14. 35-14.
I'm gonna say about 38-10, and I'm the way that the 38, the coaching staff goes.
Okay.
Jaden probably won't even play in the fourth quarter. It's just too much turmoil. So that's my thing. I'm saying 38-10. Monday Night Football. That's what I'm predicting for the Eagles.
All right, D. We'll see it. Shalom.